everybody, today I am back with something that's going to be so fabulous. You're going to want to stop what you're doing and just sit down and relax with your sweetheart right here and go bam. We're going to watch the top 10 best outboards of all time. You guys liked it so much from last week's worst outboards of all time. I'm sure you laughed your asses off because it's cool when I can watch myself and laugh. It's really awesome. So I know you guys had to laugh about it. You requested it, so we did it. Here you go. Like always, you know, you like what you're seeing, make sure you're commenting, subscribing, clicking the beautiful little notification bell. If you want to see that last week's video, whoop, right up here. See it? Right here. Jordan's going to put a little magic thing right here. Goes click. You just click on it. It'll be perfect. It'll be awesome. Last week's video, worst 10. This week's video, best 10. My opinion, solely my opinion. But that's why we do this, so you guys can chit-chat amongst each other. All right? Here we go. You ready? Here we go. Bam. It's coming at you. We're starting with number 10 this week, just like we did last week, right? Number 10. Best outboards made, my opinion. The Yamaha Ox66. The Yamaha Ox66 was a bulletproof Yamaha for back in its time. It competed very strongly with everything. If you read everybody's stuff about it, you see what I've seen in that outboard. It's 95% positive outreach on that outboard. It drifted towards the back because of what we have in the front of this one. It's a very solid, strong motor for its time. It did everything and then some for that company. So, number 10, the Yamaha Ox66. Number 9, you ready? Probably gonna fall out of your seat, but I'm gonna say it right here. Evinrude Intruder / Johnson Fast Strike. What? No. That was a great outboard. For its time, it was a great outboard. In all the years of doing this, building them, I didn't build many of them up here. Now, you guys down the south or out west and out east, whatever, may have built more, but we didn't build a lot of them up here, and there was a ton of them up here, a lot of them. They were around every corner. We had them during the power pack, not enough power pack deal. That was really their only issue, the ignition. The ignition was the issue until you could get them aftermarketed, and then they started coming out with better stuff and this, that, and the other. They're still running today. There's plenty of them outboards out there running today. Drinking gas, just drinking the gas and the oil, but they were a great outboard. Beat the crap out of them, run. Actually, there's a story about one up here. A guy bought a brand new one. It actually ended up blowing up. It actually just leaned out a cylinder or did something. This was a long time ago. This one, it was brand new. And the engineer that was part of that build actually came to La Crosse and put the new motor on, took him to the river, and got in it and said, let's go break this in. And he got in it and he just started, feathering it. And the guy's like, no, get out of the driver's seat. And the guy just canned it and drove it wide open up and down the river. And he said, that's how you break this motor, and that's how I built it, to be that kind of motor. So it's just a cool little story, but yeah, that did happen up here. All right, so number 9 was the Evinrude Intruder / Johnson Fast Strike, carbureted. Number 8, the Yamaha F150, the 4-stroke 150. There are tons of these motors around. It fits for the walleye people, it fits for the pontoon people. Extremely reliable outboard. Very, very little problems that I've seen up in here with them. Change the oil, change the spark plugs occasionally, change the freaking lower unit and the fuel filters, and you're good to go. It's very, very reliable outboard. It does exactly for what the market needs it to do, and that's the best way to put it. When I say the market, I'm saying the walleye guy, I'm saying the pontoon people now, because the pontoon surge has come. That motor has been produced and produced and produced and continues to be reliable. So the Yamaha F150. Number 7, the Mercury 2-stroke 50 horse. The 3-cylinder, badass tiller handle motor, power trim and tilt, flat bottoms. Back in the day, had them all over. Even some pontoons had them on. They are a reliable CDM motor. Basically, CDMs go out, maybe a rectifier. You get a rectifier once in a while that goes out. They are known for burning up, but obviously Mercury has changed that since then. Now you got the fusible one that goes in. But that motor, that Mercury 2-stroke 3-cylinder 50 horse tiller handle motor, crazy fun to drive. Had one on a flat bottom personally, beat the living dog crap out of it. Never had one issue. Actually, it was used for commercial fishing before I got it, so it was really beat. It starts, turns, runs, goes. Yeah, unbelievable. Number 6, the 225-250 Pro XS 2-stroke. The 2-stroke 225-250 Pro XS. Optimax style. Unbelievable. Tons of sales, millions, billions. I don't know, there's so many of them freaking motors around here. Everybody had one. you get 1,000 hours out of them, and it was crazy. Yeah, you would get the compressor failure, maybe break a reed or two or whatever. There was a lot of them that did lay down, but there was so many of them out there, guys. They're everywhere. They're around every corner. They're on every bass boat. I mean, it was the sea of Pro XSs. It was crazy. So, I mean, if you think of when that Pro XS came in as early as the Opti, 98-ish, 99, went into 2000, converted to that style right there, Opti cowling with just the Mercury in white with the red little Speed Demon sign on the side. There was a crap ton of them too, but then we went into the Pro XS. Once the Pro XS hit, it was like they flooded the market. Like the valve went whoosh, and it was Mercury Pro XSs everywhere. They took over, they were in charge until the SHO came, and then the SHO flooded and did what it needed to do. But the 225, 250 Pro XS 2-stroke Mercury. Number 5, Mercury 2.4 Bridgeport. I think we could probably put the 300X right side by side with this motor. When you look at racing and you look at how those guys did that, and I know this doesn't work for some people. Some people might not even know what the 300X is or the 2.4 Bridgeport is, but if you go into the racing world, they destroyed everybody with these motors. It was literally a matter of who could tune it to being that quarter of a mile an hour faster down the stretch for racing. When it comes to racing, that motor, Mercury in general, when it comes to racing, has destroyed everybody. The racing division on Mercury is hands down probably the best racing division ever of all time. They got their shit figured out. So the Mercury 2.4 Bridgeport, and I'm gonna put the 300X right next to it because of so many 300Xs out there. So those two are right there at number 5. Number 4 is the Suzuki 50, and I'm saying the newer Suzuki 50. We're saying tiller handle, we're going probably 18, 19, 20, 20-ish, 21. So we can use that for our little open window here. If you have not experienced that 50 horse Suzuki, you need to go experience that thing. I've sold a lot of them up here. I got a lot out there on flat bottoms, and there's zero complaints about that motor. That motor has a lot of gut and a lot of go, and it wants to eat. And you can put a 15, 17 pitch prop on it and just go. The power trim and tilt on the end of the handle, big tiller. If you have not experienced that big tiller Suzuki 50, go check them out if you can find one. Number 3, one of my favorite motors of all times. If you've got your little cottage up on the pond and you don't go there much and you want your flat bottom or V bottom sitting up on the bank and you want to be able to push it in when your grandkids come or when your son or daughter comes and they want to do 1, 2 pulls and start and go, the 15 horse Johnsonevinrude, Johnson/Evinrude, I got one sitting right over there. They're the deal. I mean, they are the deal. For that reliability of that 2-stroke, I think some of them even ran water and a gas. It was insane. They were just a great little motor. Occasional head gasket from people just scorching them so hot that the paint's falling off of them. Recross hatch that thing by hand, 50-cent overhaul that thing. Deck the head, make sure you put a head gasket in it, tighten, retorque everything, and 3 pulls later, it's back up and running. Unbelievable outboard. Great motor. I think the only way you wrecked the lower unit is you filled it full of water and drove it for 2 years with water in it until it seized up. But that's the ultimate sitting on the bank up at the cottage type of motor that you just don't have to worry about what's gonna be wrong with it when I get there. It's just one of them kind of outboards that reliability for that era, that mid 80s to into 90s era, you couldn't ask for a better outboard. For the small motors, it was definitely right there. Number 2, it won a video, I think. Did it win one of our other videos? The wonderful Mercury 2-stroke 25 horse. I don't even need to say anything about it. Everybody, even when we did that video, just was talking highly of that motor. Across the country, that thing was everywhere. Electric start, short shaft, not power trim and tilt, but had the flip, short, shallow drive, stainless steel prop, beat the living dog crap out of it, heat it up to the point where it locks a piston, break it free with a breaker bar, pull oil in it, let it sit overnight, fire it back up, and away you go. That is why it's number 2 right there. Number 1, you ready? Drum roll. Why don't we ever have that guy? Are we not paying that guy? We're not paying that guy, so he's not here. Yeah, boy. But here you go, you ready? I'm gonna say it. Are you ready? Your new 250s. Yep, that's right, you heard me. And when I'm saying that, I'm saying the new Suzuki, The new Yamaha, and yes, the new Pro XS, the new 250 Pro XS. And the only reason I'm saying that, guys, for it being number one is because if we take all these outboards and compile them together, and now we take today's technology of how nice they start, how nice they run, yeah, there's problems with all of them. So everyone has little problems here and there, but we're not gonna get into details of what's wrong with each and every one of them. But the thing is when we're using these outboards, like when I say using them, we literally beat them. I mean, bass guys beat them, walleye guys beat them. They use them because that's what they want to do. They get in it and it goes vroom. I mean, how many times did you get to landing prior to this and go happened a lot. Now it's just turnkey, and they idle, they shift, they get on plane, they go. And they're smooth, they're quiet. It's next generation. It's what guys like me that started doing this so many years ago, we could tell so many years ago when they changed fuel quality up here. Like literally, they would change the fuel quality and we'd have to rejet carburetors to make them run. We would have to tune the carburetors to make them run. That's what I'm saying. That's why these motors are number one. That's why these 250s are number one. They're strong, they're beastly, they are quiet, they do what they need to do to be everyday reliability. It's just a way different, it's actually to a point where I never thought I would see it like this. I would never see that 250 and just, and the technology is so far advanced, and it'd be interesting for me to see what's gonna happen to these 250s down the road. We all know about the charging thing with the Yamaha. There's things coming down the road for the SS. And the Pro XS I haven't got into because it's, you know, it's the Pro XS, it's the Mercury clan. They'll figure it out. They'll do what they want to do. But I'm strong at that being number one. And the only reason being is just because the technology and where they've come and how far they've advanced themselves and where they put it on so many different venues, you know. And when I say the smaller motors are just as good, but we're talking big horsepower. We're talking V6s, we're talking 8 cylinders, we're talking big motors that no more shaking and flopping and just drooling all over themselves. And it's like starting your truck or your car in the morning, and it's just cool to see. It's cool to see, and that's why I put them all at number one. And I stack them all together just because I'm a 250 guy. It's what we see in the bass world. It's what we see in tournament fishing, no matter, I mean, you get in the big lungs like what's sitting next to me here, and that's 300, but there's a lot of 250s out there, and there's a lot of these coming down the pipe. So I put them at number one just because of, like I said, they are today's technology. They are advanced technology. So we'll give you a quick rundown. You ready for this? Here we go. Number 10, the Yamaha Ox66. Number 9, the 150 Intruder, both Fast Strike and Evinrude Intruder. The Yamaha F150, the new 4-stroke F150. It doesn't have to be new, just when the F150 came, because that fuel-injected F150 was an unbelievable deal. The 225 250 Pro XS 2-stroke, great motor, sold a crap ton of them. For you racing guys, the 2.4 Bridgeport, and I'm gonna insert the 300X right there too. The tiller handle guys that are looking at the 50, 60s era, 40, or that horsepower range, we're gonna go with the Suzuki 50. The Johnsonevinrude 15 horse, unbelievable, reliable, great, little short fella, pick it up, carry it down the bank, leave it on the bank, it doesn't care, it's gonna run. Of course, the Mercury 25, what more can I say? Just great, just great. And then on number one, all the new 250s. When I say new, I'm like last year, let's go 1920, because we haven't got through the COVID motors yet, and we talked about the COVID motors. So the 1920 250s, early 20s, not mixing it in with COVID. So the new stuff, we're not going to see a lot of it. There's still back ordered, so we don't know what we're going to see. But we got it. So I would say all the new technology on the 250s is definitely number one. There you go. That's your top 10 of all time. Of course, that could change. Of course, you might have a different opinion. If you do have a different opinion, make sure you're commenting down here. Tell me what you think you may have. You may have the best outboard in the world that you think. We want to hear about it right down here. Everybody wants to hear about it. Almost 11,000 subscribers want to hear it. So make sure you get it down here. You guys have been watching everything, and we appreciate it. Like always, you know what to do. Comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell to witness the madness. Wow. And I hope all of you are soon to say speed, money, and no brakes. I'm out. See ya.